welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Larissa L and you are watching my YouTube channel Parker Kate, where I feature beauty, lifestyle, and fashion videos. And in today's video, I'm actually going to be reviewing some of the new collection from Charlotte Tilbury, her Mesmerising Eye collection. So if you want to see what this collection is about, the products that I've used to create this look, then please go ahead and keep on watching. As usual, before we jump into today's video, I'm going to go ahead and let you know the outline of the video. So first, we're going to talk a little bit about the concept behind the new launch from Charlotte Tilbury for her Mesmerising Eye palette collection, and then we're going to go into the swatches and then the tutorial and then my final thoughts. All the timestamps will be linked below, so go ahead and check that out. So Charlotte Tilbury recently launched 4 new eyeshadows and dual-ended eyeliners. Dual-ended eyeliners, basically these ones right here. So they've got 2 different colors on one pencil. So the Mesmerising Eye color collection, we'll just call it that, she's specifically geared towards enhancing your natural eye color. So she came out with 4 different palettes that came out with a corresponding eyeliner. Now she has a blue one, which is this one right here. This one is called Blue, Super Blue, and then this is the Mesmerising Eye colored dual pencil thing that goes with it. So if you're somebody that has blue eyes, you can get this, but this is actually geared towards someone who has brown eyes. So if you've got brown eyes, you're going to want to go ahead and pick up the blue palette, which is called Super Blue. If you're somebody like me who has green eyes, you're going to go ahead and you're going to get the maroon palette or the pink palette. I didn't get that one, unfortunately. I think I'm going to have to go and pick it up because I did get the corresponding eyeliner to that one. It was called Mesmerising Maroon. So I do have that eyeliner for that collection. Whereas somebody who has blue eyes is going to go ahead and pick up this one. This one is called Copper Charge, or the gold palette, so I'm referring to it. And then if you're somebody who has hazel eyes, you're going to go ahead and pick up something called Green Lights. Now, Green Lights is basically the Rebel palette from the luxury palette line that's just been rebranded into this collection, which in my opinion was a little bit lazy of Charlotte Tilbury. So the reason why this is a really interesting kind of concept is because this is called color theory. And color theory is something that makeup artists use every single day. And we basically use the color theory or the color wheel to kind of pick out shades or makeup shades and tones that are going to be best suited for our clients depending on their skin tone, their undertones, and their eye color. We also take in consideration what you're wearing. But I really haven't seen anybody use the color theory and kind of market it towards the consumer to be really easy, and that's why this kind of concept or this collection, this Mesmerising Eye collection from Charlotte Tilbury, is really kind of neat. So if you want to enhance your eye color naturally, then I will list all the quads down below and the corresponding eye colors for each of the quads. Now, the reason why I went ahead and I am demoing only one eyeshadow quad in this video is actually because I found it to be the most universally flattering. Now, why did I choose the blue one? The blue one is geared towards somebody who has brown eyes, and the majority of people actually have brown eyes, so that's why I picked the blue one. And I also picked the blue one because I felt like out of all the colors, blue is kind of the hardest to work with for the average everyday consumer. But this palette and the way I'm going to show you how to apply it is going to be in a separate video. It's going to make it really super easy. But that's why in this video I'm just solely focusing on the Copper Charge palette and this dual-ended eyeliner. So enough jibber jabber, let's go ahead and jump into the swatch portion of the video using the eyeliners that I did get. So first up here is the Super Blue palette. You can barely make out the first shade, but it does swatch really nicely when you apply it with your finger or when you wet it. At the end is the eyeliner. Then up next I have the Copper Charge palette, and then the 2 swatches at the end are for the Mesmerising Maroon eye pencil. I'm going to be using the most flattering palette out of all 4 that Charlotte Tilbury released, and that one is the Copper Charge palette. Now, the reason why this palette is the most universally flattering in my opinion is because it not only suits people who have blue eyes, so copper is supposed to enhance people who have naturally blue eyes, but it can also be really great on people with brown eyes, green eyes, and hazel eyes. So that's why I chose to demonstrate this one in the tutorial portion of this video. Now, like I said, I didn't order the pink palette, which is specifically for someone like me who's got green eyes, but I did order the duo-ended eyeliner that came with the pink palette. I didn't order the one that came with the Copper Charge palette because I felt like I had a lot of those colors in my collection already, whereas I felt this one was a little bit more dynamic and interesting. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and start applying this beautiful palette to my eyes. I'm going to go in and take this first color in the quad. This one is the Prime, and I'm just going to go in with the big fluffy brush. This is a JH32. And then I'm always going to knock off the excess because, like with all of Charlotte Tilbury's little quads, they are very pigmented and they do have a lot of fallout. So you really don't need that much on your brush. So I'm going to start by taking that first color and I'm just going to start placing it all over my eyelid. And I like to start from the inner corner of my eye and then work my way out. I want to focus most of the color on probably the inner corner to the center part of my eyelid. That way it just opens up the eye a lot more, even though we're going to be applying other colors on top. And then I bring it up into the crease and I just blend it out until that color is diffused. So pretty straightforward. I'm just going to apply the same thing to the other eye really quick. So again, I'm focusing the color on the center of the eyelid to about halfway in. And then I'm not putting any more shadow on my brush, and I'm just going to diffuse that up into the crease and out the outer corner. So I'm going to be taking this pointed brush and I'm going to be dipping it into the second color in the quad, again dropping off the excess. Now what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to start placing this on the outer third of the eye. And then I'm lightly going to diffuse it kind of into the center, but I'm not going to bring it all the way in. I just want a little bit of color, and then I'm going to bring it up into the crease. That way you get a beautiful gradient effect from the gold into this beautiful kind of copper rose color. Now if you want, you can go in with a clean blending brush. This is a JH36, and I'm just going to diffuse that crease even more. So same thing to the other eye. Again, knock off the excess, and then I'm going to start applying it to the outer third of the eye. Bring it in just a little bit past the halfway point of the iris. And if you want to look, you can actually look straight ahead with your eye half open and it down into your mirror if you can't really see where your iris is. And then I bring it up into the crease, just about halfway, and then I focus it more on the outer portion of the eye. And again, with that same blending brush, I'm going to go back into the crease and diffuse that even more. But I'm going to go into the next shade, which is the pop shade or the enhanced shade. And what you do with this shade is you just apply it to the center of the eyelid. And the best way to apply this kind of shimmery, coppery rose gold shade, this is known as number 4, the pop, is just with your finger. So I'm just going to take my finger and rub it in there, and then I'm going to apply this onto the center of the eyelid. You can just do little tapping motions. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and take another blending brush. I'm a little dirty, but that's okay. This is a JH31, and I'm going to dip into this matte brown color in the quad. Now lightly just dip it in there and then knock off the excess. So I'm just going to start by just kind of tapping the matte brown color where I want it, and I'm just going to do that on the outer edge. And then I'm going to slowly start buffing in circular motions into the outer V and then eventually up into the crease, focusing most of the color on the outer third of the eye. Because what I'm trying to do here is elongate my eye. So now we're going to go ahead and work on the upper lash line and the lower lash line. And for that I'm going to actually be using one of her new dual-ended pencils that came out in the collection. This one is the pink one. I didn't order the one that came with the gold one because I felt like I had a lot of those colors already, but this one is for the green eyes and it came from the pink collection. Now specifically the colors in this are called, so this is the Eye Color Magic Liner Duo in Mesmerising Maroon. So you have this kind of beautiful kind of rose copper color. This is a metallic eyeliner, and on the other side you have this beautiful almost eggplant brown color, and this one is a matte eyeliner. So the duo ends, like I said before in the introduction, one is a metallic and then one side is a matte. So I'm taking the metallic side, so I'm just going to start running this down the lower lash line. Then I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. So I'm just going to start by running this down my lower lash line. Now I always bring my colors down really low on my lower lash line because I have really small eyes, and I also want to cover up some of the creasing or like fine lines. So a good way to do that sometimes is just kind of like bringing down your eyeshadow or your eyeliner just a little bit lower than you normally would. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this kind of purpley brown color, and I'm going to actually run this along the top of my lash line. Now, I'm going to smoke this out, so you don't have to be really precise with this. You can be kind of messy, especially if it's not really your thing to apply eyeliner on the top. So the messier you are, the better, because I'm going to be blending this out with a smudger brush after anyway. So I'm just going to go ahead and take this flat shader or smudge brush. This one is a Morphe 408 brush. Smudge the brush back and forth on the eyeline because I want it to be a really nice, soft, and diffused look. Now, if you've actually lost any of that color in the middle, you can go back into that pop shade in the palette. So number 4, and I'm just going to go actually back in with my finger and just kind of reapply it. You can also go back in with that matte brown and touch it up just a little bit. So I'm also going to do that as well. So just a little bit. Then the final touch is going ahead and adding eyeliner and the inner pop color and highlighting the brow bone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this teeny tiny little brush. You can take an eyeshadow brush if you want. This is a JH40. I'm going to go back into that first champagne color, that prime color that we used all over the eyelids. Knock off any excess, and I'm just going to apply this on the highest point of the brow bone. And then I'm also going to apply this into the inner corner. The last and final step to this really quick eye tutorial is applying mascara. I'm going to be going in with my favorite. This is the Effort Lash XL mascara by Doll 10. I will leave this link below if you guys are interested in trying it out for yourself, as well as a coupon code. Alright guys, so this is the finished look for the tutorial part using the Copper Charge eyeshadow and the Mesmerising Maroon eyeliner pencil eye duo thing. Anyways guys, sorry my voice is going. As far as the quality and the formulation goes of the actual product themselves, it's very Charlotte Tilbury. It's her signature formula are in these eye quads. So you're going to be getting a lot of pigmentation from your mattes, your metallics, your shimmers. You're going to have a very easy time blending and diffusing these. The color stories in each of the quads are beautiful. Now again, with all of her products, you only need the lightest touch with your brush because they are very pigmented. They will have a lot of fallout. So just remember, if you are somebody like me who's very heavy-handed with a brush, you just go ahead and you knock off the excess before you're applying it to the actual eye to avoid excess fallout. I like the concept behind the color theory quads because it makes it really easy for anybody. You don't have to be a makeup artist to make your eyes really pop. So like I was saying before, the amount of product that you actually get in the dual-ended eyeliners is not a lot for the price. I find that it is a very high price point and not enough product of each color, so that was something that's a little bit disappointing. As far as the actually formulation of the matte side of the crayons, I noticed that they were the darker colors and they are a little bit drier and a little bit harder to blend out, but nothing that you can't actually work with and that's comfortable to wear on the eye. Now the metallics were a lot more, in my opinion, creamier and smoother to apply and blend out to the actual eyelids. For the price, I think that you could be getting a lot more product or a lot more bang for your buck than they're actually giving you. Overall, I give the whole concept probably a 9 out of 10 because it makes it really easy for somebody as a consumer who wants just a really easy, it's all there for you kit to make your eyes stand out. Alright guys, thank you so much for tuning into my eyeshadow and eyeliner review of the new Charlotte Tilbury Mesmerizing Eye Collection. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. And if you have any requests or questions, go ahead and leave them down in the comment section below. Alright guys, I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!